welcome back to the channel. So as you can see behind me, we've got this lovely carbon black E46 M3. In the next couple of episodes, we are going to be looking at the, I'd say, common issues that they suffer with in regards to the rust, and especially over the rear arches and the dreaded boot floor failures that you see so much of the forums hyping about. Right, let's take a look up here. It's had a fair bit of work done through in the past. Anti-roll bars, some Bilstein dampers on there, got a little custom exhaust. So first things first is that rear subframe mounting point is very corroded. I mean, I can't see any cracks forming from any of it, but I don't think you would, because it literally looks like it's about to rust away. Going over onto the other side, again, similar sort of corrosion. Normally when you take these subframes down, it's just a spider web of cracks leading into cracks and cracks. So I can't imagine this one being much different. So this is again another reason why it was brought into us, was to fix that rear arch rust a little bit on the top there as well. So obviously once the subframe is down, the boot floor is very accessible to see and inspect. What you can see is a mixture of really corroded, like quite heavily corroded spots, along with the classic spot weld and linear cracking that the E46, especially the M3s, suffer with. So just looking around, the actual subframe mounting points are not too bad, although pretty heavily corroded. I mean, I can really spot about 2 cracks in the actual floor itself, with an additional 3 or 4 spot welds that have corroded and just sort of cracked due to stress and fatigue. It's not like your standard boot floor cracking. I mean, I've had them in from like 10 or 15 different cracks coming from all different directions, which like spider web themselves together, and then you get like a whole chunk, as you lower the subframe, a whole chunk of floor just falling out in front of you. This one's not like that. Again, it's been probably more to be fair, the car has spent more time on axle stands than it probably has on its wheels. So rather than it being cracks due to fatigue and stress and the torque of the car, it's more down to just corrosion and the weather has got at it. We've just had another E46 M3 just come in for the exact same issues. Again, this one is undergoing a full respray, and at the time obviously it was noted that the outer arches and the inner arches were completely rusted through. So we are going to be replacing the inner arches, and also we have got a good suspicion that the boot floor is going to be also cracked as well. So it'd be a good little comparison. They're both of similar sort of mileage, similar sort of age, so it'd be good to see the difference between the two as we've got them here in the workshop on each ramp. So we now have the subframe down on the new E46 M3. And yeah, this one is definitely worse in regards to the boot floor cracking. I mean, the general level of corrosion is a little bit better than the other one on the other ramp. But this one has certainly seen a fair sort of more intensive use over the years, just because the extent of the cracking is much more far and wide. Just continuing on with Sean's car, we've just got all the boot floor reinforcement plates welded in. Obviously all the cracks addressed. The gold stuff there is a copper etch primer, which we use to put on the back of the panel to protect it. All the spot weld brackets, etc, etc. So these are the genuine BMW panels that we use to fix the rear arch rust. Obviously, as you can see, only a tiny bit of the panel is used. Yeah, they don't supply just the inner arch, you have to buy the whole quarter frame pretty much. So here's some few pictures of it getting everything getting welded on. Again, coat of etch before it goes on, as you can see through the grommet holes, all nice and protected there. Obviously, if you saw the previous videos, this was in for the boot floor strengthening and the rear arches. And as you can see, both sides have been done. Nice and neat, blends in well. We've just given, again, we're not going too crazy on the underside restoration, but everything's got a nice clean up. New brake lines going in and over. So yeah, just little things, bits and bobs cleaned up, and yeah, just make a nice little job of it without spending lots of money and time. Have a little look at the sort of halfway progress. So as you can see from the pile over here, we have pretty much got the remaining spot welded brackets off the car, and yeah, this is the kind of stuff that if you don't get them off, as you can see in there, they hold a serious amount of corrosion underneath, and obviously when they're spot welded on. So yeah, behind them is not looking too bad. Obviously the fuel tank brackets here, it's really quite thin. Moving over to the other side as well, it is really quite thin going on through the back of that seam. Other than that, usual places as well. Obviously under the bum of the passenger seat here, those really just sort of, the grommets hold a lot of moisture, and again they really start to go thin and corrode around that area there. Here's the crack we were going on about, all cleaned up back to bare metal. Right, so we're at a position now where we can look to start installing all the boot floor reinforcement plates. So I've just gone ahead and given them a good sort of copper etch primer, and so then when you weld it on, there will be no bare metal through there. So same again, just grind it back, bare metal on the chassis. This corner here didn't need any rectifying with the any cracks or anything like that. The others will need a little bit of work, so we'll just start on this corner. Alright, so I've just started cleaning up and getting in all of the seams where the seam sealer would be covering. Again, this is where these two holes here are where the ABS sensor would join and sit. Again, up here, all in the seams. And yeah, I mean, as you see in the previous clips, there's a hell of a lot of corrosion behind that box. And going over the other side, a hell of a lot of corrosion behind that box, so it really does, you know, really quite good at hiding the corrosion, these E46s. Again, up there, and around. So next on the list is to tackle the arches. And through there, I've just started removing all the seam sealer, and then yeah, what essentially we'll do is we'll fold this lip down, and that will expose all the crusty lip. Nobody likes crusty lip. So these are the sills, again really quite in poor condition, obviously all that. Again, over the other side, that sill box section there is yeah, pretty scabby. And then after we've done all that, we've got to address all the rear jacking points over here as well. Jacking point there, it's a bit scabby there. That front one looks okay. This front one also looks okay, not so okay. Yeah, not ideal. So yeah, there really is a lot of rust to contend with. Yeah, but I guess, you know, we're sort of halfway there now, I guess. Maybe. Right, so as you can see, I've grown a tash and the underside is now fully prepped and ready to be finished off in the sprayable seam sealer. So the arches, let me just get a torch on up there. Arches have now been done. There we go. Arch has been done. This side needed a fair bit cutting out and replacing. Sealant there just again to go over the welds. All the welds have been ground flush. It's just good practice to protect them up afterwards, just in case there's any pinholes. Everything got treated to an etch before and after welding. Same again with this side, which really didn't need a great deal of rust repaired. We just replaced the lower section, as you can see, where the sealant is hiding. So moving on, underside, all the really obvious areas of corrosion treated, and then all the not so obvious areas, so all in here, treated, ground back, and then etch primed, as you can see. Same again, rear spring perch pockets, fully cleaned up, treated and primed again. So yeah, looking really good. Dan is now just going to remove the vapor canister and just sort out the wheel arches. There's a little bit of obviously rust by the strut tops there. Not so bad on this side, but again it's worth treating while we're here, and then we can give the wheel well a nice undersprayable under seal as well. So yeah, Dan's just going to get on with that.
Oh, you want me in there? I was trying to duck. Oh shit.
So Dan's just going to get on with that. He's basically just going to finish off all the wheel well stuff and then spraying all the underseal on. And then, yeah, we're going for a black underseal this time. Normally we go for a grey, just that's what it comes out of the Gravitex with. And yeah, should be sweet.
Should be good, mate.
Should be sweet. So yeah, one thing I forgot to add into the last clip as well. All this rust repair on the seal and on the jacking point we're going to leave for the moment and get the boot floor done first. Get it up on its wheels, so then we can tackle that when it's off the ramp. Because obviously it's a little bit difficult and sketchy doing anything on a jacking point on a 2-post ramp. So we're going to do that on the floor just for safety reasons. Okay, right, so progress has been made. Got the brake lines all dialed in now, and now we're just coming to the fit all the ABS brackets. So originally when you remove those, they're an absolute pain in the ass, and they always tend to, let's get you focused, there you go, always tend to split just like any kind of trim clip. I didn't even get a price for these at BMW, but what I plan to do, and what I have done, is drilled them out, and then using an M8 riv nut, bolt them in.
Who told you about that?
Was it me? Okay, so we're at a stage where the fuel tank is in, connected, carbon canister and lines in and connected. The tank brackets have been cleaned and we're in. Unfortunately, that's about as good as I can get that plastic cleaned up, but it's looking okay. End of the day, it's going to get covered in shit soon enough. So that is pretty much at a stage now. Yeah, plastic cowlings in there as well for the handbrake cables to go through. So that's all done. So yeah, we're pretty much at the first half of the car is now done. We'll just look to get the subframe in and the pile of parts we've got accumulating down here. So yeah, good to go.
you.